What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode following the Chicago White Sox rebuild. And the first thing I gotta say is I gotta extend an apology to anybody that has been watching or is continuing to watch. We unfortunately are fast forward a month. If you watched the last episode, we finished off with the end of April and we were on May 1st. We recorded an episode yesterday. Obviously, this will be in the future, but we recorded an episode yesterday that simulated the month of May. We had storylines, we had all this going on. And unfortunately, due to some issues with my PC and it crashing, I was never able to get the file secured. So I missed an hour plus of recorded gameplay, and we have to pick it up here in June 1st of 2025. Now that being said, what I'm gonna do is kind of cram all the storylines from the past two episodes, or last episode that we missed, and this episode that we're going into. As you can see, we have struggled in the month of May. In the last 10, we are 1-9. May was not very kind to us at all. We are still not that far back, obviously. It's still early on in the season, but some of the storylines that we capped off in May, we talked about Luis Robert Jr. He was in a MVP type of form. He sizzled down a little bit, but he's still performing really well. Still batting 279 at 321 OBP, 553 slugging and a 874 OPS with a WAR of 2.0. So not too bad from Luis Robert Jr. Still performing well. Josh Rojas is no longer injured. He just came back. So far in 12 games, a 239 average, 340 on base, 326 slug for a 666 OPS. We'll give him some time. Remember, he didn't have spring training and things like that. Some of the other major stories, we gave Mike Clevenger a little bit longer as the closer. He then went on to ruin that whole month for us. We had plenty of wins on the table, wasn't able to close those out. So moving forward, he is no longer going to be the closer. Sean Burke is still proving himself to be an ace. Right now he's 5-4 with a 277 with a 107 whip. He also has a 2.4 WAR for pitching, which is actually number one in MLB right now. So he's still proven to be an ace. The rest of the rotation has been a little bit of a question mark. Jonathan Cannon's been okay. As you can see, he's got a 3.55 ERA, a 127 whip, and a WAR of 0.6. Martin Perez has fell off a cliff with a 5.87 ERA and a 153 whip. Shane Smith also was moved to the bullpen. I'll show you the rotation. He was moved to the bullpen, where he's been better in the bullpen. He wasn't cutting it out as a starter, but since moving to the bullpen, he's been a little bit more consistent. And then we decided to move Mike Vasil to the rotation, and he's been good so far. 48 innings pitched, a 3.17 ERA, a 1.14 whip, and a 3 quality starts so far, and a 0.3 WAR. So the starting rotation has, in all, been pretty solid for what we expect for this team. 4.14 and a 174 whip with a negative 0.1 WAR from Davis Martin. Obviously, you would like to see better there. Maybe Shane Smith ends up in the rotation once again at some point. Maybe Bryce Wilson gets a shot at the rotation, but he's only pitched 21 innings, gave up 6 runs, got a 249 with a 115. Then he's also got a 0.4 WAR. So the pitching hasn't been the worst part of this team. Worst part of this team has been something completely different. The worst part of this team has actually been this right here. Number 30 in fielding percentage, a 980. I mean, we're close to 29th, but we are number 30 right now. And one of the worst players in that category so far in the major leagues is Andrew Vaughn. The first baseman, Andrew Vaughn, has struggled mightily when it comes to his defensive position. He has a 976, a negative 0.8 WAR. He's only striking out at 19.1, which isn't bad. The offense is okay at 265 with a 325 on base percentage, a 377 slug for a 702 OPS. You would wish for better numbers, but he's been pretty good with runners in scoring position. He has 26 RBIs, and you can see here he has a 333 average with runners in scoring position, which is the team's best so far this season, if you don't include Oscar Colas, who's obviously just come up, only had 7 at bats and batting 143. You also got Austin Slater, who's actually been a sight for sore eyes. He's been performing really well. He's got a 328 average, a 396 OBP. He's got a 492 slug with an 888 OPS. He's also been good in the field, a 980 fielding percentage, a 0.9 WAR. So he's been a sight for sore eyes, just like some others. But last time we were talking about it, we also were discussing the catcher position. Matt Dice was doing pretty well after the month of April. He's fell off pretty considerably. Only a 243 with a 373 on base, a 379 slugging with a 752 OPS. He also has a 0.9 WAR, which is not bad, and a 996 fielding percentage. So he is not too bad, but obviously we would like better. Corey Lee has definitely fell off with a 224 average, 264 on base, slugging of 284, OPS of 548, and he's been better in the field, but he hasn't really seen as much time as Dice, and a 0.3 WAR. So the catcher position we talked about, because we have Kyle Teal, who is potentially ready for the MLB. We're going to give him a little bit more time to cook. I think at least 1 more month right now, because Dice is still with that 0.9 WAR pretty efficient. You got a 279 average, a 333 on base, a 407 slugging for a 740 OPS, and a fielding percentage of 1,000 and a 1.8 WAR for Kyle Teal in the AAA, which is pretty damn good, I would say. So we'll give him a little bit more time to cook. We could potentially see Kyle Teal up in the majors as soon as the All-Star break. That's something to pay attention to. The other thing that happened last episode that we didn't talk about was Edgar Quero, our other top prospect at the catcher position, has performed so well in the Double-A. He was batting like 360 and had a WAR of like 1.4 early on in the season, and we decided to move him up. Since being moved up, he's got a 245 with the 355 on base, with a 402 slugging, a 757 OPS. The fielding percentage is not there because he's been DHing. He's got a 0.6 WAR, so he's been pretty good since getting called up. We also called up Colson Montgomery from Double-A to Triple-A. He's been struggling mightily in his Triple-A stats: 213, a 314 on base, a 344 slug for a 659 OPS, with a 984 fielding percentage, 0.2 WAR. Also, in the majors, we called up Chase Meidroth. Chase Meidroth was tearing up the minors, tearing up the AAA, so we said it's time. He had like a 340 average. So far in the MLB, it's been worth the call up. 96 at-bats in 24 games. He has a 302 average, a 343 on base, a slugging of 469, and a OPS of 812. And the one issue with him is his fielding percentage is at 958, so he's not helping with the major issue with this team, which is fielding right now. But he does have a good bat, a very good contact hitter. He's creating a lot of runs in a short time. His isolated power is not huge, but that's not what we expect from him. Jacob Amaya, also been a really good story with the bat. He's batting 299 with a 341 on base, a slugging of 426, and an OPS of 767. He also is struggling heavily in the field with a 957 fielding percentage, and a 0.3 WAR is pretty good, and he's created 28.5 runs so far this season. He has been really good as a bat, so we got him at DH at the moment. The other issue on this team, besides fielding, besides Andrew Vaughn, Meidroth, and Amaya, was the guy that we sent down for Meidroth to come in, and that was Miguel Vargas. Miguel Vargas was struggling, as you could see in the MLB. He had a 235 average, a 324 on base, a slugging of 439, and an OPS of 763. The bat was okay. It was sustainable. This 923 fielding percentage is unacceptable on the major league level, so we decided to send him down to the AAA until he figures out how to field a little bit better. Right now in the AAA, he's got a 292 average, a on base of 403, and a slugging of 477. He's also got 4 errors so far and an 862 fielding percentage for a 0.4 WAR. So he hasn't done himself any favors. Still, the bat's there, the fielding is not. And we need that fielding to improve for him to be a major league type of guy. So those were the major moves. We also had some other big moves that are more for this episode, but the other things we wanted to talk about is with the major leagues, the pitching moves that we had. So besides Mike Vasil going to the rotation, we also had James Karinchak get called up from AAA. He was tearing it up, had a below 1 ERA and a whip below 1 as well. So we called him up. We gave Clevenger a little bit longer as the closer last month. He's proven that he's not fit for the role. So Karinchak, who so far has 6 holds and hasn't blown a save, 3 earned runs, a 180 ERA, and a 107 whip, is now going to take over as our closer until we find a more suitable closer via trade or elsewhere. Right now, it's going to be Karinchak. So we're doing a closing by committee type of thing. We're going to give Karinchak the ball for a little bit, see how he does, and then maybe even go with Penn Murphy for a little bit. But right now, we're struggling to figure out who's going to be the closer because our start rotation in our bullpen in general has been okay. I think a lot of our games were getting blown saves, and those are never good. Other major pitching situations. Arriarte did not get called up, but he's still pitching well. He is 2-5. The record's not there, but he's got a 3.47 ERA and a 134 WHIP. Now, the major news for the AAA is we got 3 new pitchers in the AAA, and it's the 3-headed monster we got coming up in the pitching rotation. And Noah Schultz, who in AA had a 105 ERA, if I remember correctly. His whip was under 1, and he had, I can't remember exactly how many strikeouts, but he was, all you need to know is he was performing. He was laying it up. Grant Taylor as well. He was a little bit higher on the ERA. He was more of a high 2s, low 3s, but he was pitching well and deserved a call up. And then you had Hagen Smith, who's already upgraded to a 75 overall after starting, I believe, at a 72 or 73. He got called up, and he actually was one of the spotlight players at the end of the month that they give when you go into roster and they want to point out who's been performing really well. Hagen Smith was that guy. So all 3 has been called up. So we'll be playing in their debuts in AAA in this game, or in this episode, I should say, because we want to take a look there. Other than that, nothing crazy. Braden Montgomery's still sticking around in the AA. Needs more time to develop. That average ain't there. He's not really hitting great. A 256 with a 363 on base, slugging 482. OPS is 844, which is pretty good. He's got a 1.3 WAR and a 990 field percentage. We also got William Bergola, who's been a really good story right now. He's batting 370 in 54 at bats, a 393 on base. He's also got a 463 slugging for an 856 OPS and a 974 fielding percentage, which is pretty low, but a 0.3 WAR. So we're gonna keep an eye on him for the next month or so, see if he continues. He should also get some starting time, so we should do that. You got Nick McLean, who's playing really well. He's only had 20 at-bats, though, so we got to give him time to marinate as well. But a few guys there to keep an eye on. Miguel Vargas, is he going to get called up? Is Dominic Fletcher going to get called up? Because he's also somebody that's performing pretty solid in the AAA. A 306 average, a 365 on base, slugging is 444 for an 810 OPS. He's also got a 981 fielding percentage and a 1.5 WAR. So he's been really good. He could potentially get called up. We're going to give Oscar Colas a little bit more time before we send him down, because he was performing really well in the AAA before we called him up as well. So we got a lot of stuff to really look forward to when it comes to this team. We got those pitchers coming up. We got some lineup changes and potentially a debut of Kyle Teal here in the majors sooner rather than later. So now more talking about today and what we'll be dealing with. We need to find a way to improve the fielding, period. Fielding needs to get better. We need to find answers there. Do we do it via trade? Do we hope that it fixes itself? But at the end of the episode, I hope we're no longer 30th on that fielding. We also want to talk about Vaughn. Even though he's got a 0.8, his bat has been very reliable. Like I showed you with the runners in scoring position, he's been very reliable. Is that going to be enough for him to keep his starting position? Or do we move him? Will he be on the go here sooner rather than later? We also want to talk about Luis Robert right now playing like a top 10 player in the AL. Could that continue? Can he carry this team to some wins? And if he doesn't at that trade deadline, we could definitely be looking to move him. Sean Burke, as we said, is the best pitcher right now in the AL. And I'm going to actually show you the WAR. As you can see, based on pitching WAR, he is the best pitcher in the AL. I mean, he's top 10 in WHIP. He's top 10 in... Let me go to... not strikeouts. I don't think he's top 10 there. He's just outside the top 10 there. He's also top 10 in home runs allowed. I think that's what's helping his WAR a lot. He's also top 10 in ERA. So he's been very, very good for us. And we hope it continues. And, if it continues, we got something there with Sean Burke. Braden Montgomery, hopefully he gets a little bit more development. Like I said, a little bit of a struggle right now in the AA. Not a heavy struggle, but we want to see him dominate the AA before we call him up to AAA. We called up the top 3 prospects, which we already talked about. And then we got to talk about what we're going to do at 10 overall. We did do some scouting, and we'll talk about that here in a second because we got to do more scouting. And potentially trading for a bullpen arm. That could be on our plate in this month. Depending on where we are and before it gets out of hand, maybe we trade for a, bullpen arm. Right now, Cliff Franco, a 86 to 96 potential. He is also a 66 to 76 overall. He's got great power versus left, so he's going to generate there. He's got really good numbers all across that offensive platform. Between even vision and discipline, you could see the vision's going to get up to 72 potentially, and then also 88 on the discipline. He's got really good field and really good reaction, so he's exactly what we're looking for at first base. The issue is he's number 1 on our draft ranking. He's number 2 in the MLB, so the possibility of him ending up falling to 10 is slim to none. We do have to change him out though, and really focus on somebody else. So that being said, we did take a look at some other people. We already talked about Cam Cochran and his value. He could potentially still get picked, so let's actually get him there. So I want to get him to 100%. We got Divine and Pena that we're also taking a look at. And then we got a few guys that we got 100% scouting. Kurt Kellenberger, he's got really good fielding and he's got good speed, so he fits exactly what we want to do. He's ranked number 7, so there's a possibility that he actually falls to us, and he's a switch hitting bat, second baseman. Right now with shortstop, but we see him more as a second baseman. I don't think there's anybody else we really got 100% on yet. Let me see if I have a fully scouted. All right, so here's a fully scouted list. Cliff Franco, as we know. Billy Meeks, we took a look at. He's a 72 to 87 potential, so you're looking around that B range potentially. You get a 47 to 62 overall. He dropped all the way to 48. The MLB draft rank is 18. His draft rank for us is all the way down at 48. If he's there late, I'm okay with getting him, because look at that speed. Great speed out the gate. It's going to be okay with contact, going to have decent fielding, but he has the speed we're looking for. We also got to get Felipe Dominguez fully scouted, which I believe he's in the rotation still right now. You got Tino Anaya, who is a shortstop and, you know, projects to be a shortstop. Good arm strength, pretty good fielding, really good speed as well. Another good speed guy. We could potentially get him late. He's draft rank 16, but in our draft rank he's 60. We could get him to 100% to get a better idea. Isaiah Williams is also somebody with a 72 to 84 potential, a 50 to 62 overall. Hopefully somebody takes him early, and it's not going to be us, but hopefully somebody takes him early. But if he's there real late for us, he's got that fielding and the speed and stealing that we're looking for as a second baseman or shortstop, depending on what we already have in the system. Like if we already got Kurt Kellenberger, you know, we most likely won't draft Isaiah Williams late either. But that's what's going on with the scouting right now. We're going to leave it the way it is because we want to get people to 100% scouting. But we get the 10th overall pick, so it'll be a really important pick for us to make. So with all that being said, it's time to jump into the sim, and the one thing we got to keep an eye on is here on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, we got our big three pitching prospects that we're going to jump into a game with. Other than that, there's nobody really that we want to jump into a game with. Nobody has been called up as a position player. We're just going to sim and jump into some opportunities when we can. We get a 4-3 loss there. We get a 8-3 win against Detroit. We're going to jump into this game where Noah Schultz will make his AAA debut. So we'll player lock him. And there he is. Noah Schultz has a 84 to 88 mile per hour sweeper, a 98 mile per hour fastball, changeup that tops at 86, and a cutter at 96 miles per hour. He's got a repertoire and a half, and he is a behemoth of a man at 6'9". So let's see if he pitches well in AAA. We did use him in AA, where I think we were okay, as that one is going to get smoked into the gap. Chasing that, not going to get there. That's going to get to the wall. It's going to be at least a double. He's going to stop at 2, and not a good start to the AAA career of Noah Schultz, but we still got time to get out of this inning. Gives up a lead-off double. You hate those. Those are the worst. So we're going to start off this inning with a bad one, and then we're going to see if we could kind of get things back to normal, as we missed completely outside with that one. We do have the pitching consistency because we do like to use the meter. So we also have the pitching consistency down to a 3, which has been pretty good so far. I feel like we missed some spots, we hit some spots. I feel like the ratings take place a little bit more. Noah Schultz with his first K in the AAA. And we could definitely see him doing this soon. Maybe not this year. I think we're going to play the long game with our pitching prospects. There's no reason to rush them up to the MLB this year. So I think we're going to play that complete long game. Give them the rest of the season in AAA. See how they perform. Now, that being said, if they got like a under 1 ERA going into the last month and they've pitched over 100 innings, I mean, we could take a look at them in the majors, as we just missed with that changeup. He lays off with that. But you know, I try to be a little more patient with prospects as we get him with the sweeper, a nasty sweeper for back-to-back Ks. So that leadoff double is not hurting us at the moment, but the inning is not over. Let's see if we could finish out this inning. As you can see, he's got a nasty repertoire. More of a swing and miss type of guy compared to somebody like Grant. Taylor Grant is solid, but he doesn't have that swing and miss capability like both Hagen Smith and Noah Schultz. And we're going to go inside with that sweeper, and he offers at it. And he almost got a hit out of that. Gonna hit a sweeper inside again. Try to, at least. He's gonna offer. That's gonna go up the middle. That's gonna be a dive. That's gonna get a run in. And you hate to see that. Hey, the first run in AAA on a sweeper inside that didn't even catch any of the plate. That's just MLB cheating. And we get him on the pickoff. Look at that. Noah Schultz with the pickoff move. All right, we're going to pick it back up here in a second. Still 1-0. We gave up 1 run. You know, that's what happens when you get a leadoff double. I thought we were about to get out of it, but we ain't that lucky. And a sweeper is going to go to second. That's going to be an easy play. Hopefully we could get a nice quick inning. We're already up to 16 pitches, which is not terrible. But you always like quick innings, and it looks like we're going to get a somewhat of a quick inning. 2 up, 2 down with that fly out. And I'm having a blast with the Chicago White Sox rebuild, and I'm a big fan of how they're kind of set up with pitchers coming up, and pitchers being the focal point of how they scout and what they grab. I would even be totally mad if we grabbed another pitcher in this draft as he fights off that 1-2 cutter. I'm not really looking for a pitcher, but if that's the best available with how this team is, I will take a pitcher. We're at a point where best available is probably where we'll go at 10. Now, if the best available and also what we need is in line, that's a perfect world. But sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Sometimes you just gotta take the best player, and even if you have a buttload of that same prospect or that same position, you're still in a better place than taking the bad player. As we strike out another one. Look at Noah Schultz. That's what, 3rd or 4th K? No, that wouldn't be the 3rd K so far. All right, top of the 3rd, we're gonna get the 9 and the 8 and 9 batter, and then we'll get the top of the lineup with the gentleman that smoked a ball to the gap in left center and kicked off their offense. See if we could get him back for that. As we get a cutter inside, he's got a really good repertoire, and we'll see how this sweeper does. Can we get a swing and miss? He gets a swing. There's no way he gets a hit on that. Oh my, this game's cheating. There's no way. This game is such a cheating game. There's no way he gets jammed like that and fights that off to left field. Or right, yeah, right field. It's not left field. It's backwards, so it's tough to remember which is left and which one is right.
1-1.
He's going on the 1-1, and that's an easy stolen base. Did not pay attention to the runner, so that's on us. So no outs and a runner on second. Can we get him with a sweeper? He swings for it. They're making contact with a sweeper that's 2 inches from their body. See if the changeup gets him. Changeup is going down the line. That's going to be fair, easy play. We're going to need a strikeout if we don't want that run to score. I can tell you that right now. So let's see. We're going to start off with a sweeper. That should have been called a strike. And that is going to be a cutter driven out to center field. That is going to score a run easily. There's no way we're stopping the run from scoring. So a 2-1 lead. So 2 earned runs so far here in 3 innings against Noah Schultz. And I don't even think he's pitching bad. Only allowed 3 hitters or 3 base runners. Just been able to get a guy on second with nobody out in 2 to 3 innings. Let's see if we can get a punch out here.
2-1.
And on the 2-2, he's going to take a sweeper that's going to go out to left field. Easy play for our left fielder. And we get out of third, but 2 earned runs so far in this game for Schultz. I could already tell, though, with Schultz, I am going to have a blast pitching with him when he makes it to the majors. He's only going to get better from here. And right now, I think he's great. As that sweeper is going to get in on their hands. They're going to fight it off to center field, but that should be an easy play for the center fielder. Luckily, our offense is keeping pace with their offense. Both sides get 2 earned runs. Or 2 runs, I should say. I don't know if they were earned on our side. That sweeper has got a ton of break. Go outside with the fastball. He's going to drive that to left field. That should be an easy play for the left fielder. It is. So getting a lot of easy outs. Already up to 48 pitches, which is not bad when you're here in the 4th. We'll see how many innings we get from our manager, because we are player locked, so we don't control when we come out. All right, we got the 0-2. Let's see if he offers on this cutter. Does not.
1 ball, 2 strikes, count.
Another 1-2 pitch. The sweeper, it's going to be a broken bat, but that should be an easy play. I got to remember the fielding in this game. It's been a long time since I've been player locked. Top of the 5th, we're getting at least another inning. We only got 52 pitches, so we should get a couple more innings. That one smoked to center field, though. Is our center fielder going to get it? He's going to jump at the wall, and that is gone. A home run. Did we leave that over the plate too much? That's the question. I got to take a look at this replay. So taking a look at the replay, we did leave that over the plate a little too much. And he smokes it to center field. And how close was the center fielder from getting that? Pretty far. I don't think he had a real chance. So we give up the home run here. Hopefully we could settle in. Get the changeup.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
1-2 changeup on the outer side, and he offers at it. We love that. So we'll take another K. Definitely not happy about that home run, but we'll take the K.
Ball, that's upstairs.
And on a 1-0, a sweeper is going to get grounded out. Nice play by the second baseman. And on a 2-0, a dive-in play by the second baseman, but that's going to be a base hit. Good news is there's 2 outs, though, so that should not harm us, but we've already given up a home run, so you never know. And that one's going to be grounded up the middle. Dive-in play, and that's actually made. What a play by the shortstop. That's Colson Montgomery with the gold glove type play there. So top of the 6th, we're at least getting 1 more inning. 300 runs so far, so not the greatest of debuts. But you always expect a prospect to take a second when it gets called up. And that's going to be forward off to right field. That should be an easy play by the right fielder, which it is. But you always expect a prospect to have a little bit of a struggle when it reaches a new situation, you know. Different team, different bodies around, you're not as comfortable. So we'll give him time, and I think he'll settle down and pitch really well in the AAA. If not, there's always the option to send him back down, but I think realistically, when you send back down a prospect, you could hurt him. Maybe not so much in MLB The Show, but in real life, it's kind of a hit to the confidence of the player. So the 2-1, we're going to try to get a backdoor sweeper. That gets over the plate. That's going to be the center field. An easy play there by the center fielder.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
On the 1-2, we're going to try to get an outside changeup. He goes for it. That's to left field. That's going to drop for a hit. Been a lot of pitchers out of the zone that they've been getting base hits on. Really disheartening. When you try to get them to chase, they chase and they somehow make contact.
1-0. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So we got a 1-2 with 2 down. Can we get a strikeout again? And we do. The sweeper. Just nasty break on that with the strikeout. And that's going to do it for Noah Schultz. So he went 6 innings in his debut, gave up 3 earned runs, and he might have got the loss here. I got to take a look. So in the 6 innings, he does receive a loss. So 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, no walks, and 3 earned runs. Receives the loss for his trouble. Kyle Teal had a good game, 2 for 3 with a home run. You also had 2 for 4 and a double for Jolks, and then Vargas went 1 for 2 with a walk. So Noah Schultz, not so bad in his debut. Definitely would like to see better, but I've definitely seen worse debuts. So we'll give him a little bit of time. We'll check in with him at the end of the sim, and hopefully by that time, he's settled in nicely. Now we got another debut in Grant Taylor. Now Grant Taylor's a totally different type of pitcher, but we'll player lock him and we'll talk more about it when we get in game. And there is Grant Taylor. 4-seam sits at 99 miles per hour when it tops out. A 90 mile per hour slider, a changeup at 86, and a curveball at 83. And that is a nasty, nasty repertoire. But for some reason, not a lot of swing and misses on his stuff. He gets more swing and misses on his fastball than he does everything else. As you could tell, or as I said with his AA numbers, the strikeouts weren't there. The ERA was. He was pretty good there. He was pretty good at everything. The whip. The ERA was just not ERA. The strikeout total was at least 5 strikeouts less than the innings pitched. And obviously, you would like to see that strikeout number to be higher than the innings pitched to really show the elite swing and miss type stuff that they have. But he did have a good ERA. So sitting here, he's already 1-2. Can we get the fastball to get blown by this batter and get the strikeout? No, we cannot. That's just outside. He's going to go with a high fastball once again, which I think is his best swing and miss pitch as he drives that to right field. The right fielder's chasing that down, and a good play. We missed our spot, and we caught a lot of the plate there. So we're lucky to get a fly out. And now, not being a strikeout pitcher is not the end of the world. It's actually a good thing in some retrospect, because now you get an innings eater. You get somebody that pitches contact, gets a lot of outs, the ERA is low, and they're not expending a lot of pitches to get to where they need to. The route to the goal is, more expedient instead of a long at bat with a strikeout at the end. You get the fly out, you get the ground ball, you get the out in some other shape or form. And it works out because you keep the pitch count down, you get deeper into counts, you get deeper into outings, not counts. So there's some positives to that. And having an innings eater that could be a number 3 starter or a top 3 starter is, I think, phenomenal at the end of the day. Now, that being said, he could really develop a strikeout game. It's still early in his development. He's young. He could develop that swing and miss stuff and that strikeout capabilities later on in his career as he gets a strikeout there with a nasty slider. So there's 1K. And up the middle on a slider here to start the second inning. So that should be a single easily. I don't know who I'm backing up. But I'm not backing up anybody receiving the ball. I can tell you that much. So 1 on with no outs. Gotta pay attention to that runner. Make sure he's not going. Got the 0-2. Let's see if he offers that a high fastball. That was on the corner. We definitely got screwed out of a call there. does not like us. Inside fastball, and we get the swing and miss. So 2 strikeouts so far in as many innings. See if he can, you know, start stockpiling strikeouts. Wasn't a big strikeout guy in the Double-A, but like I said, it could develop. We got another 2-strike count that could potentially get us a strikeout. He offers at it, but that's going to be rip foul. Another 2-strike pitch. And we get the K looking. So 3 strikeouts so far. All that strikeout talking. He's got 3 in 2 innings. Oh, another 1-2 count. Can we get the strikeout on the fastball? Does not offer inside. So we go to 2-2. That runner's trying to go. As we almost caused an error. I'm gonna go with the high fastball on this 2-2 count. He doesn't offer on it, and it's going to be a strikeout on a check swing. So 3 strikeouts just in that inning. All that strikeout talk, it's not looking very good for us. Kind of like we don't know what we're talking about. I'm telling you, he didn't have good strikeout numbers. I'm not lying, guys. I swear he didn't. But right now, he is striking people out left and right. Needed the confidence in the AAA. A nice fly out there to start the inning. And the slider's going to be sliced into left field for a base hit with 1 down on a 2-2 count. So good contact there from the number 9 hitter to get a base hit on that. Now I want to know, my favorite prospect so far has been Noah Schultz. And I know I hype him up a lot. He had an okay debut with the 3 earned runs. Who is your favorite prospects in this system? You got Kyle Teal. You got Noah Schultz. You got Hagen Smith. You also got Grant Taylor. You got some fun and exciting prospects. Braden Montgomery, Colson Montgomery. Almost forgot to mention them. Let me know down in the comments, who is your favorite in this series? As he slaps that down to third base. Thank God that was foul. I'm going to see if we could get him with the slider inside half. We're going to miss our spot. That's going to be hung up a little bit. Thankfully, he just fouls it off. See if we could get him with the fastball. Going to miss our spot, but at least we missed off the plate. Whenever you miss with 2 strikes, especially in a favorable count, you always want to miss off the plate. As we're going to catch the plate there for a strike 3. So 4 Ks now for Grant Taylor. And let me know in the comments how you feel about us potentially grabbing a pitcher at 10 overall. Is it worth it, even if it's the best player available? Let's say it's a generational pitcher. Do we grab him at 10, or do we get somebody that might not be generational but fits more of what we need at the time? As we get to a quick 0-2 count, gonna miss on that fastball. Yeah, let me know down in the comments how you feel about that. Which way would you lean? Outside corner, he's gonna fight that off. Grant Taylor so far so good in this game. See if we can get him on this 2-strike pitch. Gonna miss on the inside. Tell you what, they really like to use the fastball. And we're gonna get the swing and miss, so I'm sorry for down you, Kyle Teal. We'll throw that fastball. So top of the 4th, still 1-0, or 1-0. I didn't even pay attention to what the score was the last couple innings. All I know is that there's a 0 on the other side, and that Grant Taylor is getting more strikeouts than he had all in the Double-A. Nice dive in play, but that's going to be a base hit. Chased a slider outside the zone and still able to get a hit out of it, and that is obscene to me. Nasty curveball. Nice swing and miss there. On the 1-2, we're going to try to get a fastball outside, and we just missed the spot. He's going to come back with a fastball. Outer half once again. Right down the middle, and he basically doesn't offer at it. Not exactly down the middle, but mid and a little outside. Definitely a hittable pitch. Another strikeout. He's racking up the strikeouts in his AAA debut. I apologize, Grant Taylor. I wasn't familiar with your game. And there's another strikeout. Grant Taylor, I lied. He must have heard what I've been saying about him. Another strikeout in this game. We'll see when we simulate a month in if he's still, you know, striking out at this pace. Another swing and miss. Getting called up to the AAA is all the confidence he needed. There's a changeup once again. That's going up the middle. I can't see the play. That went right up the middle. Wasn't able to make a play on it, so 2 down, but 2 on. See if we could get out of this little sticky situation. We're up to 66 pitches here in the 4th. That's going to be driven into left center. That's going to score 1, potentially score 2. They're going to hold up at 3rd. So the first run given up by Grant Taylor in the AAA. It's a good hit. I'm not mad at it. At least that was on the plate. Now, unfortunately, we give up a run in his debut. Let's see if we could, you know, minimize the damage. Get the last out that we need. You hate to give up 2-out runs. We gave up 1 already. Hopefully we don't make it 2. So the 1-2 slider inside. I'm gonna miss really bad. That's going to be a dead ball. So bases loaded. Gets a curveball. That's going to second. That should get us out of the little fiasco we just had. So 3 down, 1 earned run here in 4 innings. But that pitch count, he is already up to 72 pitches. Like I said, you start striking a lot of people out, your pitch count's gonna get up there. And he's already at 72 here in the 5th. That's going to be fouled off. That looked like it was gonna be dangerous. So 0-2 once again. Can we get the strikeout? We got a 2-2 after a great battle and a few fouled off pitches. That's going to be a changeup up the middle. Is he going to be able to make the play? He is not, and that's going to give them a 1-out single here in the 5th. Let's see if we could get a double play. I would really enjoy a double play right now on a couple pitches, given the pitch count and given the situation. I don't know how he chases on that, but we thank you, good sir. On the 1-2, we're going to attack the zone with a fastball. He's going to ground that foul. It grounded out, but in the wrong direction. Keep it in between the lines. And preferably to somebody. As we get the strikeout call on the inside corner. Great pitch there by Grant Taylor. And they're going to take us out here in the 5th. So Grant Taylor, 1 earned run, unless we give up more runs there. But it looks like 1 earned run. I don't know. He won't be in line for the win, I don't think. But a very good debut from Grant Taylor. And he did not get the win. But Grant Taylor finished with a line of 4.1 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, and 9 strikeouts in 4 innings. He was mowing them down with strikeouts. So 2 debuts down and 1 debut to remain, and that's Hagen Smith, who had a great month in the month of May. Was one of our top performers in the month of May. Will that continue here in the AAA? Hagen Smith, nasty slider, a great fastball at 97 miles per hour, a 93 mile per hour cutter, and a circle change at 82 to 86. And that slider is his best pitch, kind of like Noah Schultz, but the only difference is he's more of a hard slider compared to a sweeping type of slider that Noah Schultz has. But both have a nasty repertoire and high K per 9. But it's been the complete opposite so far based on Grant's debut and Noah Schultz's debut, who both, Noah Schultz had 5 Ks in 6 innings, I believe, and then you had 9 Ks in 4.1 innings from Grant Taylor. As we get a flyout to start this game with Hagen Smith, he's almost MLB ready. He, based on our standards, and honestly based on 99% of the team standards, a 75 overall, close to MLB ready, if not already MLB ready. Our standards, he's in the MLB, and in other standards, he's potentially cracking the lineup depending on where the team is, as we got a 2-strike pitch that's just gonna miss inside. So could we see him this year? I don't know. He is 21. If we're performing well, maybe, and we need the arm. But if we could let him sit in AAA and develop a little bit more and kind of dominate down here, why not? There's no issue or no reason to rush him as he gets a strikeout there looking. So quick 2 down with 6 pitches so far this inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Let's see if we could wrap up this inning with a K. It's going to be inside slider. He does not offer at it. So the 2-2 coming in. It's going to be a fastball high. He offers at it and misses. So 2 strikeouts back to back to end the inning. All right, starting off the second inning. Quick 1-1 count to the leadoff batter. Now, like I said, these pitchers we could take our time with. Hopefully we're in a place where we're competing and, maybe we call them up. Maybe even as a bullpen arm. Maybe one of these 3 pitchers could kind of get the Chris Sale treatment. And I think it was the Garrett Crochet treatment. So they tend to put him in a bullpen, give him situations like that. Ease him into pitching in the majors and then bring him into the rotation. As a Red Sox fan, I don't know how often we did that. As we get a swing and miss, can we get the throw out? No, we do not. So a runner on second with no outs. And we know a little bit about this with Noah Schultz from two games ago. You get a fastball on the outside. He's going to fight that off. But like I said, with the way they kind of bring up pitchers, we could have them be our answer in the bullpen here potentially late in the season if we still need an answer. But hopefully by that time, if we're competing, we've gone out and traded for a reliever, preferably somebody that won't cost us too much in return. But you never know. As that slider, you get a called strike 3. That was a terrible call, but we'll take it. We benefited from that, so we're all for it. Thank you, sir. All right, 1-2. Can we get him on a slider? Yes, we can. There's another great strikeout. So 2 down. But as we know, even with 2 down and a runner on second, we are not out of the woodwork. Got one more batter to deal with. We didn't get the call there, but we've been getting some favorable calls, so I'm not too mad at it. All right, we got the 1-2. And he's going to fight off a slider. That's going to right center. Is that going to get down fast enough? No, it does not. A good play by the center fielder and gets us out of the inning. So no earned runs given up. We got 2 strikeouts out of that. Not too bad. Starting off this second inning, that's going to be driven out to left field. Easy play by the left fielder. So Hagen Smith so far with a good debut, and at the end of it we'll kind of judge who had the best. So far I think it's gotta be Grant Taylor, who's been really good, or was really good. Hagen Smith though, putting his hat in the ring so far, I think it's been really good. But let me know in the comments which one you like better. I don't think there's a universe where we trade any of these guys, but maybe in a, you know, universe where we need a player in return, we could get rid of one of these pitchers who we have an influx in. Good play there by the left fielder, easy out. And that's going to be driven out to left center on the first pitch. That's going to get down. That's going to be at least a double. And he walks into second base for a 1-out double. That's going to be a circle change taken out to right field. Is he going to be able to score on this? Yes, that throw was offline. So we give up the first run here for Hagen Smith in the AAA. So each one of our pitchers so far that come up in the AAA have dealt with at least giving up one earned run. So 2 outs, runner on first. We gave up the 1 earned run. Let's see if we could just get out of this inning. The pitch count is at 37, which is not bad for being in the 3rd inning. Definitely not bad at all. And then you're going to get a slider in on the hands. He's going to fight that off to center field. That should get us out of the inning, and it does. So thankfully only the 1 earned run that went through. You wish it was 0, but with plenty of run support, let's see if we could fly through this in and pitch the contact if we can, or no contact as we get strike 3 called for the first out. That's going to be driven out to right field. That one smoked. A fastball on the outside third, and he's able to drive that to right field. That was a bomb by Rodolfo Castro. What a hit. I'm not even mad at that. We put a good pitch out there. He just smoked it. Oh, 4-2 now. We still got good run support. He's going to smoke that to left field. People are making really good contact right now. You're hearing the sound of those bats. You do not like it. They are squaring everything up. Hopefully we could settle back in. On a slider inside, he's going to drive that to left field. So back-to-back hits. And Hagen Smith's starting to struggle a little bit. Don't like the sound of that and don't like the sight of it. Hopefully he could settle back in and make sure this debut isn't destroyed by this little rally they got going on.
No balls, 1 strike.
That's driven to right field, so another base hit. He's gonna go home. The throw home, offline, and there's another run. Hagen Smith struggling right now. Catching too much of the plate with some of his pitches. 3 hits in a row, and you got a 4-3 game. All that run support. So far, Grant Taylor with the best debut, and I think that's by far the best debut. Even though you only went 4 1/3, still a really good debut. And a slider to get strike 3. There's Hagen Smith. Hopefully we could salvage this outing here. That slider's driven out center field. That's a great play by Colson Montgomery, though. We're at least getting one more inning out of Hagen Smith. Coach is allowing us to see this out. That's going to be driven into right field. That's going to be a double. Potentially a triple. Nope. At least a double. So, a bad start to this inning. Let's see if we could get at least a full inning out of Hagen Smith before they take us out. But definitely not the start we wanted. That's going to be driven out to right field. A great play by the first baseman. Almost doubled him up. I believe that's Bobby Dahlbeck over there with the great fielding play. Like to see that, helping out the pitcher. Because that was smoked. So the 0-2 pitch, trying to get him with that nasty slider. He does not offer. His slider is Hagen Smith's best pitch. Phenomenal pitch. And that comes to fruition with a great strikeout there. So 2 down, and we could limit all the damage from this inning. But we got Rodolfo Castro, who took us deep in his last at bat. So definitely not going to be an easy out. We get him to fight off that inside slider, chase that one. Can we get him again with an inside slider? That's going to be bad. No, he doesn't offer at it. And strike 3 called, and we get out of the inning. That could have been dangerous. And they're going to give us another inning here. The manager showing some confidence in us. Some confidence in the rookie as we give a slider right down the middle. Thankfully, he mishit that one. Back-to-back sliders. That one gets over. And then we're going to go inside with a fastball with 2 strikes. He offers, and that's a K. Hagen Smith mowing him down now. Potentially catching his groove. I gotta say, this ump has been one of the worst strike callers. But we'll take it as a pitcher. If we were a batter in this game, we would be a little upset, but he's been terrible. See if we could get him with this fastball. Yes, we do. Strike 3 called. Hagen Smith, like I said, catching the groove. 2 down quick. A chance for a 1-2-3 strikeout inning? Ooh, just missed there. I'm surprised we didn't get the call with this umpire. See if we can get the call here. He offers at it. That's going to be the first base. Bobby Dahlbeck's going to take it himself and end the inning. So 6 innings for Hagen Smith at least. We'll see if they take him out here in the 7th. And yes, they do. Braden Eisert comes in for Hagen Smith, who I think had a pretty solid debut. Kind of similar to Noah Schultz. Both had the same numbers. The only difference between Schultz and Hagen Smith with a lot more strikeouts. 10 strikeouts to Noah Schultz's 5. So he doubled up on strikeouts in the same amount of innings pitched. So great debut for Hagen Smith. He gets the win in the game too. So that you always love to see that. All right, with the debuts over, we're good to jump back into the normal sim, and we already got a simulation importance very high. Home team down by 1, 2 runners on base. Josh Rojas is up, and we haven't been able to use him yet, so this is actually perfect timing to get a first at bat with Josh Rojas. Get to actually see him in action. He's 1 for 2 with a double, lefty on lefty. You got Tyler Holton on the mound, bottom of the 8th. And an offer on that terrible cutter. Should see the first pitch a little bit more, get a timing for his stride and all that. A little late on that cutter. The stride is a little long. It's not a high kick, but he's quick with it as that cutter's down low. Also, the pitcher Tyler Holton is pretty quick with his delivery. We're going to drive that out to center field, but that's going to be an easy play for the center fielder. So we do not do any damage with Rojas, but we get his first look at him. And he's a better fielder than Miguel Vargas, so he's a sight for our sore eyes with this really bad fielding team. And we do get the loss, a 2-1 loss against the Tigers. You look at Casey Mize, he ended up getting the win. Davis Martin with the loss, with only 1 earned run in that game. A 2-for-4 game for Slater with a home run. Rojas was 1-for-3 with a double, a 1-for-2 game for Benintendi, and Mydroth 1-for-4 in the game. We want to compete with this team. I've said it in the past, and I'll keep saying it. We definitely want to compete. So all in all, the 3 debuts from our top prospects were not bad, as we got another high important situation. Home team down by 1, bases loaded here in the 6th inning. Let's go ahead and jump in. You got Chase Mydroth up at the plate. So in steps Mydroth with the bases loaded, a good chance to blow this open for the Chicago White Sox. He's going to drive it to the right side. That's going to be an easy out for the first baseman. That is a tough look. So we are unable to complete that. Let's go ahead and simulate the rest. But we do get the win, thankfully. A 5-4 victory from this team. Murphy with the win. Rojas 2-for-3 with a double. So a good game from him. Mydroth went 1-for-2 with a walk. So he's somebody that's going to get on base a lot. And he's exactly what we're looking for in this lineup. Somebody gets on base. The only issue with him is he's not a great fielder. That's the one downside. And Tyler Gilbert goes down with a torn hamstring. He'll be out for 2 to 3 months. We'll put him on a 60-day. We're getting an offer from the A's. They're offering Luis Arias or Miguel Vargas. But let's take a look at him. He's 75 overall, C potential. Better as a fielder. Pretty good discipline and clutch. Not great speed and stealing. If he was a better fielder, I would do this. But given how he's not a great fielder, we're not interested. We might as well keep Miguel Vargas at that point. So our scouting needs to be handled. So let's go over to that screen. Divine's up to 100. He's a 70 to 85, 45 to 60 overall. Really good speed, okay fielding. He looks like he's just going to be pretty decent at a lot of things. And potentially a B potential player. You got 80 to 90 for Cam Cochran. He's 65 to 75 overall. He is going to have great contact against lefties, good plate vision, good discipline, really good speed and great stealing, and really, really good glove. He right now is somebody, if he falls, perfect. If he falls, perfect. Let's go ahead and he's got discovery, efficiency. We want the most efficient, which is Tim Barnes or Hitchcock, either one of them. But let's go ahead and cancel this scouting assignment. What I'm going to do is move him, and I want Tim Barnes to scout a position. I want him to scout. Let's go with center fielders. Actually, let's see what's out there for prospects. So if we get an influx of prospects that we really want to get scouted, you got a lot of starting pitchers. We could have them do starting pitchers all at once, because we got a few starting pitchers and we really don't want to just spend a lot of time on one. We got a couple of good shortstops that are kind of in the range of where we'll be. So we could have him scout Theodore Bonner. Maybe move Bonner to third base. That's a potential. You know, great fielding at that third base slot. Same thing with Dan Graham. He looks like he's going to have a great arm as well. Not as good of an arm by Bonner, but still a really good glove. And maybe we could even move Colson Montgomery over to third base. So let's do this. We're going to keep Darrell Pena. Let him finish scouting him out. See what we get there. going to scout position here. We're going to start with a shortstop. We're going to see where they are located. Theodore Bonner, and they're both international. Dan Graham and Theodore Bonner. So with that being said, and they're both at the same region and same position, let's do shortstops and international for Tim Barnes. If I understand scouting position right. You also got 95 discovery for Velasquez. We already tried to have him discover some stuff, and he really didn't come back with anything. So we'll have him scout a prospect. He's not very good at it. Can we get a little bit more discovery from him? Let's do that. Let's get a little bit more discovery. Have him go outfield. No, we'll change it up. How about you go to the infield position, international? See what he gets for us. And that's what we'll do this week for scouting. That 10th overall pick's gonna be huge for us. So we definitely gotta, treat that with some respect. Sean Burke still pitching really well. We'll probably jump into a game here soon with him, just to get an idea of how well he's looking. We got a situation. We got a home team up by 1. 2 runners are on base. And we got a chance to go ahead and blow this open a little bit. And we got Amaya at the plate. So let's jump into this with Amaya. So Amaya at the plate. We're down by 1. Got a guy on third base. And we're facing Brian Abreu. And we're going to roll that to first base. Can we get there? And that was a close play. First pitch swinging doesn't work out all the time. And we do not get the base hit we needed, as the Astros come out with a victory. Hate to see that. You got Vaughn and Robert Jr. both hitting bombs in that game. Thice also with a bomb. And once we get to the halfway point of this month, we're also going to take a look at the lineup and see how people are performing as we lose a series to the Houston Astros. And we're going to have Austin Slater, who is going to be out for a few days, so we'll keep him active. Lose to the Rangers, and we're able to win 12-8 in that last game. Let's take a look at our scouting once again. You got 100% on Daryl Pena. Draft rank 8 for us. 75 to 90 potential. Definitely somebody we could see us drafting. Great arm, okay fielding, and really solid speed. So if he's like a fail-safe type of pick, I would say. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Then we're going to have Billy Hitchcock, who's really good with pitchers. So what we're going to do, what do we got for starting pitchers in the top? We got a international. No, we got a West prospect, a Central prospect. We got an international. They kind of spread out. We got an East there. We got another East. We got 3 East. We got an international once again. We could go East. There's a lot of East in the top half of the draft. Let's go with a East scout position on starting pitchers. See if we could get multiple people. And we got 4 infield prospects scouted. We got 60, what do we got? 15% for Theodore Bonner. We got 85% for Dominguez, that's outfielder. We got 15% there. 95 for Anaya. Get a little bit more information on him. Getting 30%. So we'll give him another week or 2 with the full infield. Or maybe we'll let him finish out with the full infield. But we also wanted to take a look at the lineup. Andrew Benintendi is on fire with a 273. You got Jankowski that's in the lineup. I feel like they edited our lineup again. It probably had to do with the injury that we had to Slater. He's still out for 1 to 6 days, so we'll give him time to heal up. Jankowski is probably, yeah, so they just replaced Slater with Jankowski. Let's go with Colas. Give Colas some at-bats. He's only had the 11 at-bats so far this season. Probably going to protect him by bringing him down in the lineup. You could put Amaya at the 2. Or actually, Yeah, Robert at the 2. We'll put Rojas at the 3. Amaya at the 5. Mydroth is at a 261. Colas could be last. And we'll spread out the left-handed bat a little bit. Who else we got on the bench? We got a 308 from Slater, but he cannot play right now. Only for a few days. So he'll be back. He'll probably be back to number 2 overall in the lineup. I don't know why they do that. Let Amaya beat the DH. So with the lineup, this is probably what we're going to rock with until Slater comes back. He's been a really, really good piece. The rotation, not going to make too many changes. We are going to keep an eye on Perez after this month. Maybe he falls out of the rotation and we bring in Bryce Wilson or Shane Smith. The only issue with that is it takes a left-hander out of the rotation and you don't have that left-handed starter. James Karinchak. So far, 4 saves, no blown saves so far. So the whole experiment with Karinchak, if somebody wants to tell me how to pronounce that name a little bit better, feel free in the comments below. But he's been pretty good as our closer, which is really nice to see. Not a lot of blown saves there. Clevenger's been a little bit better in his Holden situation. A little bit better, not a lot better, just a little bit better. He does have a 5.70 ERA, something to keep an eye on. The lineup, not much we could do there. And this is what I wanted to take a look at. The fielding's not improving. It's 979 fielding right now. Definitely not great. So that being said, where is Andrew Vaughn in the fielding aspect? He's doing really well as a bat. I gotta say, I'm impressed and I'm okay with what he's done as bat. Not a lot of power from him with a 119 ISO. But the defense at a 976, so he hasn't got worse, but he's still, you know, getting his fair share of errors. Taking a look at Rojas, who is the new third baseman. He has 0 errors so far, so you love to see that. Let's take a look at who's the worst on the team fielding wise. So Chase Mydroth is our worst fielder right now with a 952. And they had him at short. We put him back at second. We get a Maya with a 957. Lewis Robert Jr. with a 966. That is unheard of. Benintendi with a 971. You get a 976 from Vaughn. Brooks Baldwin. So even Vaughn is not the worst guy on our team. His fielding's hurting us, but he's not the worst. Mydroth is terrible, and Amaya is terrible. So even though I like what they're doing with the bats between Amaya and also Mydroth, it's tough to, you know, be okay with the fielding percentage that comes with it. Take a look at the AAA. You got Caro, who's on fire now. He's got a 255 average. He's starting to, you know, settle in a little bit. So is Colson Montgomery. He's got a 245. Kyle Tails up to a 299. At the end of this month and close to the trade deadline, you could see Kyle Tail up in the majors. A 471 slug for 831 OPS and a 2.7 WAR. He is knocking on the door. He is very close. You got a 282 from Dominic Fletcher. That's something to keep an eye on. Nick Matten was okay. You got a 304 from Miguel Vargas. He's on fire. 429 on base, a 457 slugging for an 885 OPS and a 0.6 WAR. He's got an 895. He's under 9 on the fielding percentage. So that is a little too, you know, bad for us to be okay with. Tim Elko. In 56 at-bats, he's batting 321. Slugging's at 500, 887 OPS. I think he deserves some time at first base. Bobby Dahlbeck's been okay. Let's get Tim Elko in there because he could potentially be a call-up if he starts, you know, to swing the bat and maintain what he's doing and be pretty good in the field, and I don't think I saw an error. He has no error so far, so he's been pretty good. So we'll give him a shot in the lineup a little bit and see how he handles that. Down in the AA, we got to check on Braden Montgomery. So far, a 266 with a 367 on base, slugging 498, and an OPS of 865 with a 1.7 WAR. So he's roughly in the same spot he was. You got nobody else that's really turning heads besides actually William Bergola, who's got a 316, 95 at bats now. So he is raking in the AA. Could potentially see a call up. Right now, as a second baseman, do we got anybody? You got Corey Jolks, who's been actually pretty good. So I don't think I would switch out Jolks for him. Miguel Vargas is there and Colson Montgomery. So there's really no room for him right now. But definitely playing really well. Same thing with Nick McLean. And there's actually more room for him based on, you know, some of these stats. Left field is okay. Nick Mattin's playing right field, and he hasn't been overly impressive. So Nick McLean could potentially get called up if he continues to tear the cover off the ball. So a couple prospects to kind of keep a look at. Take a look at the rotation stuff. So far, Noah Schultz with a 442. You got a 079 from Taylor and a 409 for Hagen Smith. And, you know, some of that has to do with us. At 328 from Ariarde. So you got a couple good storylines. Steven Wilson was somebody that we put in as a closer here. He's only got one blown save, so we'll keep an eye on that. Well, that was the MLB. And the AAA, he's got one blown save on 5 opportunities. Also got 11 holds. So he's been in some high leverage situation, performing really well. So we'll keep an eye on him as a potential bullpen arm down the stretch. And then in the AA, there's really no top prospects anymore, but there's some good prospects. Peyton Paulette has a 148. You got a 252 from Schultzton. You got a 293 from Scholone. No, Scholn? Yeah, Scholon. More like Scholn. 084 from McGo. We could actually put him in over Eater, who's been terrible. He's actually just got sent down, and he's actually even worse down in the AA. Welcoming Gonzalez that we got from the Red Sox, pretty good. 19 saves, only one blown save with a 274 and a 126 whip. So not too bad. Not too bad there. So let's jump back into the sim. Austin Slater is back. Let's get him involved. That was short-lived for Colas. Gonna get Austin Slater back involved. We're gonna move actually Mydroth to 9. We'll put Amaya at 7. And this will be the lineup moving forward. We'll actually switch Slater and Vaughn. Even though Vaughn's bat's been good enough. We don't need to do that. So that'll be the lineup moving forward. Let's see if we could get some wins, or start getting some wins, as we've seen a lot of grays on the screen. And we got a chance. Home team down by one runner on base. Let's jump into it. So Andrew Benintendi with 1 down in the bottom of the 9th. Got a chance to extend the rally a little bit. That slider's way inside. Facing Ryan Helsley. Definitely not a fun matchup. Well, we do get the righty on lefty advantage. That's 99 on the paint. Definitely got away with one there. See if Benintendi could be a hero. All right, the 2-1 to Benintendi. See what he offers us. Fastball outside, we'll take that. We got Luis Robert on deck. He's been our best power hitter so far this season. But can we get a pitch to hit with Benintendi? At least get 2 runners in scoring position. Nope, that is going to be an easy double play. Absolutely smacked off the bat, but right at somebody. And there's the double play that ends it. Vasil with 4 earned runs and not a good outing there. Oh. Well, Andrew Vaughn 3 for 3 with 3 doubles. That is impressive. So continuing with the sim, we get the Blue Jays next. We get an offer from the Phillies. Alvarado for Vargas. Now, Alvarado is a 29-year-old left-handed pitcher with a 99 pitch clutch, 4.83 ERA. Blown saves, he's got 3. He's got 2 saves, 3 blown, 13 holds. Ooh. A 0.2 WAR. Oh man, I kind of want to bring in Alvarado. 79 overall. Could definitely help that bullpen, and Miguel Vargas is just rotting away in AAA right now for us. Needs a new contract. It's got good pop. A 310 average, 434 on base, a 914 OPS, and a 0.8 WAR. But that fielding is too much, or has been too much, for us to deal with. Do we try to just give Alvarado a change in scenery? I want to pull the trigger on this. He's a good piece for the bullpen. Signed for this year and next at 7.3. And then he's also got outlier. Let's go ahead and bring in Alvarado. Let's bring him in. So we move Miguel Vargas and we bring in Alvarado. So we got to make some moves. Koo is going to go down. Boozer's got a high ERA. Leisure's okay. Clevenger's got a 597. He could go down. So let's put him into AAA. We're going to designate him and outright to AAA. And Alvarado, I think, will jump right into that closing position. Karenkak has been okay. We'll give Karenkak a little bit longer. How about that? We won't completely kick him out. He's been good. So we'll give him a little bit. We'll give Jose Alvarado a little bit of time to get acclimated. We won't completely make the change yet, but it will be on our mind. That's for sure. So we make our first trade of the franchise. We trade Miguel Vargas for Jose Alvarado. And I think that really helps our bullpen. And I think, when it came to Miguel Vargas, he wasn't really in our future plans. And Alvarado could help us in the future as well. He's going to be good for a little bit. 29 years old. I think he could be a good piece. Let's see if the change of scenery helps him out. Jumping back into the sim. You got another chance here. So 2 down, top of the 9th, a 5-5 game. Slater's got a big opportunity to knock in a run. He's 3 for 4 today. We'll take the first strike up high. That's a really good pitch. That's a good pitch as well on the corner. Just watching right now. Just window shopping. Didn't like any of the 2 first pitches we've seen. That one we didn't like either, and that one was a strike. So we watch all 3 pitches for strikes. Oh man, that is ugly. Get another chance to enter the game. Jose Alvarado, so perfect. We get our first look at Jose Alvarado, bottom of the 9th. 5-5 game, 1 down. And we got a chance to see Jose Alvarado on the mound. That's a great first pitch. Nasty sinker at 96 miles per hour. And then he's got a 12-6, which is ridiculous. Chases that. He's got a nasty, nasty repertoire. But he's already tired. So you don't like that. No, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. You saw it live here. Karenkak comes in with no warm-up. We did not mean to do that. We just meant to warm him up. We apologize, but at the end of the day, Alvarado was coming out anyway. But we did not want to do that at all. as he keeps fighting off pitches. That one was gross. And strike 3 called on an inside half. We'll take it. I can't believe we just made that mistake. Live mistakes, baby. Bo Bichette is up. Karen Cack probably would have saw Bichette no matter what. Get that righty on righty with Alvarado kind of losing some stamina. We just pulled the trigger a little too fast. And strike 3. Karen Cack comes in and mows down 2 batters to get us to the next half inning. And the Blue Jays win. Karen Cack with the loss. It says 0 earned runs. Oh, yeah, that's because he knocked in. So a 6-5 loss to the Blue Jays. This team is starting to struggle. We don't like it. I don't know what to do to make him start competing. They gotta show us that they can compete. We need too much. We can't just get one player and it turn around. So sitting here at 32 and 44, let's go ahead and continue this sim. See if we can finish up. And we got looks like a save opportunity. So jumping in, you got Karen Cack on the mound, bottom of the 10th. We are up 1-0. Karen Cack with the save opportunity. You got 2 on. Cannot give up 1. You give up 2 and it's over. You got the number 7 batter. So you got 7, 8, 9 coming up. So you got some things working for you if you're Karen Cack. It's terrible if I'm really mispronouncing his name and we're saying his name so much. Makes everything a lot worse. If we get a double play, that would be huge. Only thing is that moves the runner to third base. But with 2 down. And we get strike 3. Huge pitch there. Karen Cack. Should we just call him James from now on? I think that's a safe bet. 97. And he just watches it. Call him Jamesy. Jamesy with a knuckle curve. That was a beautiful pitch. And we get him swinging on this one. Knuckle curve, and he swings. He obliges, and we'll take it. 2 down. If we had... what's his face right now? Clevenger. We would have already blown this save and lost this game. Karen Cack has been nasty. That is nasty. One more knuckle curve for the win. Oh, he did not offer. Again, knuckle curve. He's going to drive that out to left field. Is he going to be able to chase that down? He does. A great play by the left fielder. And I think that was Benintendi with the play. Huge play, and we get the win. Nice save by Karen Cack. Or Jamesy, I should say. So after the game, it looks like we got an injury to Nick Podolak. Podcool, not Poduk. Podcool. A fractured hand, and he'll be out for a couple months. We got our scouting to do once again. 9 prospects on the scouting list. See where they are. 23%, 15%, 30%. Got a lot of 30% here. You got Tino Anaya, who's 100% scouted right now. Looks like a okay late round pick if we really wanted to go with it. Could move to third base with a great arm and pretty good fielding. Doesn't really have the bat for corner outfield, but we do like the arm. Got a bunch of guys kind of in the middle. Not getting a lot from scouting the full position, but we'll keep it up. 10 scouting per week. You got 1 infield prospect discovered. So let's view that prospect. Where would he be in the recently scouted list? That's the issue. We don't even know who's recently scouted. Who's the new guy? Who is the new guy? We know Bono. George Reed is a starting pitcher. Anaya, we already know. Go with, if it's not a shortstop, a second baseman in Lawrence Moreno. Marrero, not Moreno. Marrero, 69 to 87 potential, 29 to 47 overall. That immediately takes him out of the running. We're not interested in somebody like that. So we'll give it one more. We'll give it a couple more weeks, most likely. As we get closer to the draft, we might focus one player. So we'll give that one more week, and then we'll get closer, and then we'll figure out who we actually want to scout as we get to the draft itself. So let's jump back into the sim. Barons need that. Mike Clevenger was claimed by the Rockies. Good riddance. You could keep him. You can keep him. Bases loaded, score tied. In the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs and Corey Lee up at the plate. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like we're gonna have Kyle Teal here in the majors come next episode. Corey Lee 0 for 3. Come next episode, I feel like Kyle Teal will be in a White Sox uniform, making his major league debut. See what Corey Lee could do here. Ooh, that's a good circle change. Way too early on it. It's a good sinker too. We definitely wanted to swing. I don't know why it didn't let us. Got a 2-strike pitch incoming. We'll take that. Another 2-strike pitch. That's over the middle. Corey Lee's gonna drive that. That is a great play by the center fielder. Oh my lord. Alec Thomas with a dive-in play to save 2, if not 3 runs. Oh, you hate to see it. And we got another chance. We're gonna skip this. We're gonna continue simulating. We don't need to jump in on that. And the Diamondbacks come out with the win. A huge play. 3 earned runs on Karen Cack. So you don't like to see that. I think that might be his... Well, he didn't really have a save opportunity. So I can't be too mad at him. But you would like your closer to kind of stop the bleeding. What a play that we just saw in that game. DJ Gadley will be out for a few days, so we'll keep him active. A day or 2 for Ellard, which is okay. We'll keep him active. Place him on bench. He's already in the bullpen as is. So we got another chance. Home team but down by 1. Bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th. So let's jump in. So Matt Thaiss stepping in with 2 outs, facing a left-hander. Gonna take the first pitch. He's 182 at runners in scoring position. 0 for 2 today. Ooh, we're gonna miss that circle change. That was a good pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
All right, we got a 1-2 coming up. We have not swung at a strike. And we get a strike there and we miss it with Thaiss. Definitely not helping the cause by stepping into these games. We got another chance down by 1. Jacob Amaya is up at the plate. No outs. A runner on first. Let's see if we could help out. Hasn't been the case so far. Every time we step in, we usually don't help out at all. Even though I think the last game we could have had a chance. But that was a great field and play. That one was a hanger and we just missed it. That was definitely the pitch to drive. I am upset we missed that. So we got a 2-strike pitch. That's on the outside. Just missed. Definitely a little too close for comfort. Another 2-strike pitch. And the slider gets us. That's a nasty slider. And now we got Lennon Sosa. has been an okay guy for us as we chased the first pitch. That was a terrible decision. He's going to drive that out to center field. The center fielder's running back. Is that going to be gone? It is a 2-run home run in the bottom of the ninth. A walk-off by Lennon Sosa. What a moment. Walk around those bases, Sosa. We love you. What a moment for Lennon Sosa. We finally did right by this team. There it is. A bomb here in the bottom of the ninth by Lennon Sosa. The stride was terrible, but it's all about the outcome there. As he takes that to straight center. Barely getting out of here, too, if we're being quite honest. What a finish. So with a walk-off home run, he gets the player of the game, and we get a 3-2 victory. A well-deserved 3-2 victory. Now we need more of those victories. So with the scouting back around, it's time for us to take a look at some options. So Zach Decker is the 5'10" right-handed first baseman. Not a huge fan of him. Not a huge fan of the small first baseman. We got a couple pitchers there. Kellenberger, we got Pena, who's fully scouted. We got Leo Tejera, who is a switch hitter and looks ridiculous. We are going to scout him the best we can. Tim Barnes is on the case. Yeah, he looks nasty. Then we're going to have somebody else get scouted here. Who else is an option? You got Jose Marquez. You got Ryder, Kevin Ryder, and he's from Massachusetts, so he's from my home state. Do we give him a look? He's got great fielding, good arm strength. I was going to say we could move him to first base, but at this point, I'm not moving somebody with a great arm to first base. That seems like a bad thing to do. You got Harvey Wise, who's a left-hander, great arm, good speed. You got Juan Cruz. Really good fielding, really good contact, great discipline, great speed. 5'7". Let's take a look at Juan Cruz. Get a little bit of knowledge on him. We're gonna take Velasquez off that, and we'll have him start looking at pitchers for us. Because I want to take a look at some of the pitchers up at the top of the draft. Gotta do our due diligence. You got Darryl Madden, who looks like he's gonna be nasty. Great walks, great home runs. Not a high strikeout per 9. Good break on his pitches. Don't know what his repertoire is. Obviously, that's something we'll learn. He throws left-handed. So let's take a look at Madden for a week. And then we'll be able to get through this sim. We got one more situation. Score tied, bases loaded. I'm going to simulate this one. I'm good with it, stepping into that. Auto utilize. We get an offer from the Royals, who are trying to give us Carlos Estevez. Carlos Estevez, who has a really good pitching clutch, would help out this bullpen tremendously. He's a stopper, and they want Michael Taylor. And honestly, I don't want to give him Michael Taylor. But Michael Taylor is 33. Who would we call up? Would we call up Dominic Fletcher? He would be a potential piece. We could bring up Jolks, who's been pretty good in the AAA. Trying to see who would come up if we did move him. Talkman's out for 4 to 5 months. We are running a little thin on players, especially position players. Jankowski's already in the majors. Braden Montgomery is starting to hit really well in AA. He'll probably get the call up next episode. Honestly, with what's going on right now, we could call up Brooks Baldwin, but he's out for 4 to 5 months. Honestly, we can't afford to move Michael Taylor for a relief pitcher. We can't afford it. We don't have enough pieces. But next episode, we'll jump into the draft. We'll take a look at more storylines. And, you know, hopefully with the draft, we get a really good piece at 10. We're sitting here at 34 and 47. I mean, 37 and 47. We are 5-5 in the last 10. We're 10.5 games back. Hopefully, we could catch up in a wild card race. You got a few teams up here. We are currently 10 games out of that, too. So we might as well win the division at that point. But that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the storylines. I hope you're enjoying everything we're doing here. I apologize if this is a little long, but we will work on kind of getting a more compact, but also giving enough information and really being in depth as well. Usually when you go in depth, you're going to have long episodes. But let me know in the comments, as we talked about today, who your favorite prospect is on this team. Where do you see their ETA being? Do you think I'm being too tough on these pitchers? Should I get them in the rotation as soon as possible? I said a 2025 ETA for Noah Schultz, 2025 for Hagen Smith, who's already up to 76. Noah Schultz is 74. You got 2025 for Grant Taylor, who's already up to 71. Kyle Teal, 2025. I feel like he'll be in the lineup either after the All-Star break or before the All-Star break. Colson Montgomery, another option. Do we call him up? It's 2025 for him. We got 2025 for a lot of people. Owen White, Iriarte is also another option with a 3.10 ERA. Braden Montgomery, I don't know if he's quite ready, but it has a 2025 ETA. You let me know where you feel these prospects are, and do you think their ETA should be this year, or do you think we should let them marinate a little bit more and gain a little bit more development before we do? Let me know in the comments below. If you're enjoying the series, please let me know in the comments as well. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's Nefarious, and I'm out of here.